Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell Shadi I'm back. I'm going over how I made $341 today trading NQ. See, this is the bounce back. This was all thanks to God. Um, I couldn't have done this trade without him. If it wasn't for him clearing my mind, clearing my thoughts about yesterday's loss, because yesterday's loss, it was a disservice to myself. It was a disservice to my future self. It was a disservice to my family, my future family, my future wife, and by having those losses where like you don't follow your rules and you kind of spiral and try to gamble and get it back, it almost feels like you're sinning against God. I felt like a sense of shame and stuff, and so he calmed me down, he cooled me. We were talking, and so we're back. Okay, so going into market open, I am pretty bullish, considering that we broke this trend, right? We created a higher high. We kept having, a high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower higher low. As soon as you got that, boom, we're now in the uptrend. We now have a higher high, higher low, and then I'm expecting a higher high coming out of 10 a.m. new 4-hour candle. Um, so obviously this Asia high was a target going into open. I wanted to see obviously a tap into this unfilled 1 hour. I knew that we wanted to fill this imbalance, and maybe I also wanted to see a long coming out of this unfilled 15. See if we could get some of that. Um, and honestly, you kind of did get a patty swing this morning. You had an inversion, tap into a 15, inverse. You could just target the high right here, and then boom, you're done for the day. Um, and so you get this huge dump. Um, and yeah, another execution was this inverse. I was literally looking at it too, and I was like, man, this setup is fitting all of my criteria. I just needed to inverse. And at the time, like I just missed it because I was looking at this, a 15-minute BPR gap, see if we could get a retrace into it before you go long and sweep out that Asia high. But it kind of just went off and just went off, right? So now we have this new 4 hour. So I'm just gonna erase this 15 minute just to get stuff out of this way. So now we have that unfilled 1 hour, and now we have an unfilled 4 hour gap as well. And so I'm like, dude, like if we get another retrace back into this gap, because clearly price is dying out, clearly there's no other liquidity pool besides this high, this New York AM high, and that's going to be tough because there is a rejection wick, and so yeah, I really wanted to see a retrace and bullish confirmation to play out before I take a long. So I'm waiting for that retrace. We get an internal liquidity sweep. See what happens. Okay, trading view just froze. Awesome. So now we get that 4 hour candle. Boom. We get that tap in right there. We get that new tap in. The 1 hour taps in, sweeps this internal intermediate low. Um, I was also looking for some shorts, but there really wasn't an entry to like my model. I knew that we had a change in state delivery, and eventually we would have wanted to sweep out this low and then the SMT low that was previously created right here. So you could have targeted this low, this 350 low because it did have a SMT. ES swept this low, whereas NQ didn't. And so boom, we get that tap in. This is exactly what I want. This is what I was waiting for in market open. So now I'm looking for, just a cheeky little 1 minute inverse right here. And I guess because Drake had 3 albums, we just get fat candles, right? We just so and I knew like price is just gonna run off. There's gonna be no retrace down. So now what am I looking for? Um, I'm ideally looking for price to chop around and hopefully we create some high time frame gap. Um, and boom, right here we got it. We had an unfilled 5 minute. We respect the equilibrium of this new swing low to swing high, and we get a nice cheeky little inverse targeting a 2 RR trade, putting the stop below the wick of this, the body of the candle, because I'm assuming with the momentum we're just gonna straight flush. We're not gonna like jumble around and go into stop loss and then take out this low again. Um, and so yeah, boom, right there. And I went break even as soon as ES took the New York AM high at the time, just in case if price wanted to reverse. But by that time, I went break even. Like it really just wanted to flush. And so yeah, that's the trade. That was exactly what I was waiting for, looking for. Um, Fit all my rules. Hit time frame condition, liquidity sweep, respect, 1 minute IFVG, and we got it. Essentially, we got it, right? Obviously, we had to wait until a respect of another 5 minute just to confirm that we're not just going to reverse. And also, like the draws on liquidity were there, they were much higher, right? If we're now going to be in this uptrend like we previously were, we're done correcting the market, filling the imbalance. Now we're going to be in an uptrend from here on out, I believe. Especially if Nvidia comes out with strong earnings, which I believe they probably did, considering that market is what, up 1.6%. I'm assuming they probably came out. I mean, why wouldn't they be profitable? They're like a monopoly of microchip, AI stuff. So it's kind of hard not to be, right? Um, so yeah, okay, yeah. There was the trade execution and the recap. Hopefully, you guys learned. For the people that even watch, I know that like last video I got 0 views, but it's like no one knows me yet. No one knows and cares about me. So yeah, I kind of have to sulk in my chud tears, but it is what it is. I'm not doing this for you guys, right? No, I am. I low key, I want to help you guys. I want to, obviously do this as a testimony to myself to see, the growth and the progress. I do have like my journal and stuff that I write every single day. I even have like an AI called Notion. I'll show you guys that real quick. It's really been helping me, like, you know, consistently take, accountability and follow my rules to a T, and then eventually when the month is done, I'll put it in like Microsoft Excel or something, and then I could get some high time, like some clear data, right? Just to show myself like, hey, like I am who I am, right? I am the one who knocks. So, um, but yeah, ultimately in the future, like I will help you guys and do everything, and hopefully like those people that watch, right? Those that have ears, let them hear. Those that have eyes, let them see. So I know that I'm technically a nobody in this space right now, and it is what it is. You got to start somewhere. So um, I'm just a little chudlet. Just a little chud. So, oh my gosh, king of cringe, bro. All right, hopefully, hopefully you guys learned the setup, the execution, the model. It's pretty high win rate. I mean, if you guys saw it, the Notion stuff, like the only time that I've lost and had a red day is when I do not follow my rules or my setup. So it's like so far the execution has been 100%. I say that as humbly as possible. It is all glory and thanks to God that I even know the knowledge that I know and the execution that I know. So keep God first and ask him to remove any things that are in your life. Because in trading, dude, the devil will try to tempt you to do stuff that your future self would hate you to do. So yeah, because you could easily spiral into a pit. You could easily spiral into despair with this shit. So excuse my language, but God bless you all. I love you all. Peace.